All right, so news broke today that YouTuber Omi and the Hellcat was sentenced to 5.5 years in federal prison for his streaming software called Gears Reloaded. So pretty much he had a software on a Fire Stick where you can watch live TV, pay-per-view, and all that good stuff. And it was illegal. He was pirating. And the feds came in and arrested him. He documented all this stuff on his YouTube channel. So he was sentenced today in federal prison to 5.5 years. So we're going to read this article and I'm going to give my thoughts on it. Guys, before I do that, please give me a like, comment, share, subscribe. All of that will be greatly appreciated by me. All right, so let's get into this. So Omi and the Hellcat. So a local YouTube star who built a sizable following with sticky produced videos flaunting his fleet of luxury and sport cars, collected diamond encrusted bling in his spacious Swedesboro home, will be forced to give up nearly all of it after he was sentenced Tuesday to 5.5 years in federal prison for illegal business that allowed him to amass those trappings of success. Bill Omar Carrasquillo, better known to more than 800,000 online followers as Omi and the Hellcat, pleaded guilty last year to running one of the most brazen and successful cable piracy schemes ever prosecuted by the U.S. government. As part of his sentencing Tuesday, he was ordered to forfeit more than $30 million in assets, including nearly $6 million in cash, cars including Lamborghinis, Porsches, Bentleys, McLarens, and a portfolio of more than a dozen properties he amassed across Philadelphia and its suburbs. Now, the judge said $30 million is a lot of money, but tangible objects aren't everything. The judge said in announcing the punishment during a hearing in federal court, "You have a large following, and there may be people who think they can get away with it, just like you did." Carrasquillo, he's 36 years old. He apologized to his family, his employees, and the cable companies he cheated through his businesses, which illegally sold content hijacked from cable boxes to thousands of online subscribers paying fees as low as $15 a month. Now, Omi and the Hellcat said, "I really didn't know the significance of the crime until I was picked up by the FBI at my home," he said. "I feel like I let everyone down." But while prosecutors described Carrasquillo's crimes, which included counts of conspiracy, copyright infringement, fraud, money laundering, and tax evasion, as serious, much of Tuesday's hearings focused on Carrasquillo's remarkable rags to riches story. A product of North Philadelphia, he was raised as one of 38 children. His mother was deported and died of an overdose when he was still a child. His father dealt drugs and trained Carrasquillo at the age of 12 to cook crack cocaine. In addition to that, he ping-ponged between relatives' homes and foster care, including a stint with one caretaker who intentionally had him committed to a mental health facility to access prescription narcotics he could later sell to the streets. He spent much of his teenage years and early 20s in and out of prison for drug and other offenses. Still, his attorney, Dante Mills, told the judge, once Carrasquillo swore off that life, he, without high school diploma and little financial support, was able to build a multi-million-dollar business based on what at the time was considered cutting-edge technology in the entertainment field. The company launched in 2016, known at various points by names as Gears TV, Gears Reloaded, was the leader among so-called illicit IPTV services, a $1 billion a year industry in the United States. It provided its subscribers hundreds of on-demand movies and television shows, as well as access to dozens of live cable channels and pay-per-view events at a cut-rate pricing. All of it was stolen from legitimate services like Comcast, Verizon Fios, and DirecTV. The service proved wildly successful, attracting more than 100,000 subscribers and amassing more than $34 million in revenue by the time federal investigators shut it down in 2019. There's something to be said for someone who never had a chance but made for themselves and who did everything in their power not to be that person they were expected to be, Mills said. That's Omar. Despite his guilty plea, Omi and the Hellcat and his lawyer both suggested at various points during Tuesday's proceedings that Gears TV had at least initially operated within the legal gray area. Congress moved last year to more clearly define the type of business Carrasquillo ran as illegal, and Carrasquillo, in the videos posted on his YouTube channel over last year, has argued he legally paid for subscriptions to all the cable services whose content he was accused of pirating. He once posted a title on his YouTube channel, "The FBI seized everything from me." He likened what he did to inviting friends who didn't have cable over to your home and taking up a collection for a pay-per-view event. "I'm only guilty of making money," he said in the video. "I ain't guilty of nothing else." Prosecutors begged to differ. They pretty much said it was illegal the entire time. Senior attorney in the Justice Department, Computer Crimes and Intellectual Property section, Jason Gull, said. He noted that Carrasquillo had made more money from his operation than virtually any other copyright defendant I have ever seen, adding the message to the general public and Carrasquillo many fans is that this was a serious offense that should yield significant punishment. As he stood before the judge Tuesday, Carrasquillo acknowledged he has since had a change of heart, one inspired ironically by a television show produced by Disney, a company whose content he had been accused of stealing. He said he reviewed behind-the-scenes documentary of Pixar and the work of thousands of employees that goes into making each animated film. And he also said this sentence here saved his life. So Omi and the Hellcat, you heard it there. Omi and the Hellcat brought a lot of attention to himself through his YouTube channel, you know, purchasing hundreds of cars, showing off the cars on YouTube. Pretty much his channel was based around him buying cars. I thought he was like a car channel. You know how you have these car channels on YouTube where they buy cars and, you know, they fix the cars up and things like that. He was a little different. He was just buying cars. And he just living a lavish lifestyle. I think that brought a lot of attention to him. And also his neighbors, he got the attention of his neighbors. I think that was also a mistake. And, you know, people want to know, like, how is this guy making all this money? Every week there's like a Bentley coming, there's a Ferrari coming. People want to know. I think he brought a lot of attention to himself just posting online, and also bringing attention to his area where he was living. Now, he was sentenced to 5.5 years, right? So that means he has to do a little over 4.5 years before he gets out. That's not a lot of time considering what he was facing. He was facing like the rest of his life in federal prison if he had taken this to trial and, you know, and lost the trial. He would have faced a lot of time. I mean, there's sentencing guidelines, and I think the max was, it was almost like 30. It was a lot of time, put it that way. But by him pleading guilty, he took 5.5 years. That's better than what he could have received, you know. So, but still, 5.5 years is a long time. You know, he's 36 years old. He'll come out and still be okay. And YouTube will always still be here. But it's still, yeah, it's just considering, I mean, you know, it's a lot of time still. You know, anything can happen in them 4 years that he is sentenced in federal prison. It didn't say where he was actually going. Now, the article I had read earlier said that he had to forfeit millions of dollars and millions of property and cars and stuff like that. Those are the cars that they took in the beginning. You remember in the beginning, because he had all this document on YouTube where they was towing away cars and stuff like that when the feds first showed up at his house. That stuff he's not getting back. And money laundering, because he took the proceeds of that illegal activity of pirating and he purchased other things with it, and he purchased other businesses. That's where the money laundering come in. And also the tax evasion. They said that on top of that, he avoided taxes as well. So it's unfortunate, but you know, he's still young, and like I said, I think he has some health issues too. I believe he's diabetic, but it's unfortunate. You know, it's 4 years, a lot of time. Put it that way. It is a lot of time, even though it could have been worse. But you know, he has children and stuff like that. There's a lot that he has to consider. I'm not sure if they took him away today. I'm assuming they did, but I guess he would just want to hurry up and start doing his sentence. I know this is a huge weight off of his shoulders, I know, because he can always pick up the pieces now. Now is the day where he pick up the pieces and start over. And I believe he has a business. He has a sport and apparel business that he has. So he still have that. I'm not sure if they took that. I don't think so. But yeah, man, this is where he picks up and start over. He's a smart guy. He'll bounce back. And now he's going to figure out who really is in his corner, you know, now that he's on the inside. But it's unfortunate. I hate to see him go in there like this, but he'll be, for anybody, I don't know him personally, but somebody I know that can bounce back is Omi and the Hellcat. He'll bounce back. Drop your comments below. Let me know how you feel. Did you hear this already? Let me know how you feel about it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you can get updated on my latest content as it drops. All of that'll be greatly appreciated. Guys, until the next video, take care.